Hi, it's Andy here and welcome to Campaign Ignition. This is the 21-day business and digital marketing training course that we're giving away with Campaign Builder Pro and Campaign Builder Lite. This is day one, part one, and we've got two videos in day one. The only reason is because I want to get a good foundation put down first in this first video so you understand exactly where you're going with this. It's always good to start with the right frame of mind, the right attitude toward whatever we're going to do, and over these next 21 days, over this time, we want to start building a habit of creating campaigns in the right way with the right organisation, the right discipline at the back end of it, because it's going to stand you in really good stead as we go through. So we want to look at some simple campaign concepts, but today we're going to build a simple funnel using 2 pages and a form created from ActiveCampaign. This is the most basic way of getting people or prospects or building new prospects into a database. Now you notice I didn't say list here because there's one thing that we want to make absolutely clear right at the front end. If you come from something like Aweber or MailChimp and all those sort of things, you're going to have lists in your head. If you've never used any autoresponder, then you're going to come to this with a fresh mind, and that's really good. But it's just a little warning to anybody who's come from things like Aweber and GetResponse and MailChimp and all those sort of autoresponder products. The ActiveCampaign works in a different way. It's a much more superior product in that respect, but it works in a slightly different way. You can still use lists. We do use lists, but we want to use the least amount of lists we can possibly do. And we use something called tagging, which is a much better way of doing something. It's a much more congruent way of doing something within your business, and it will stand you in good stead as we go further into this. A list can really make it very, very messy and very hard to control, and we want our business to be easy to control. We want it to be simple to do. So this is why we're going to be using the form created in ActiveCampaign, and we're going to start building a prospect database from this. Now let's have a look at the ActiveCampaign and some of the things, the sort of fundamental things that we need to really truly understand. What we're going to do is we're going to set up ActiveCampaign in the right way. We're going to do that right from day one, and the essential starting point is tags. And as I say, forget lists, we're only going to be using tags. Now tags are the essential starting point mainly because before we even start creating anything, before we start creating a landing page, any lead generation, a form, anything like that, and doing any of the sort of sexy stuff, which is creating automated campaigns, which is really good fun to do, and will really make your business sing in a way that you've never thought possible, as long as you do it in the right way. So we want to look at this as best practice, and we're going to start thinking about using tags for segmentation and targeting. So we're going to segment contacts by using tags. So a tag will be linked to a contact from a behavioural point of view. So they've done something or they are something, and we'll tag them as such. And that basically means that we can then use those tags in our automations. So we've got what we're going to do. We're going to label people. These are going to apply to contacts. We'll put labels on contacts and then use those labels. So this is what we call behavioural tracking. We can trigger from behaviour, and that is the essence of what this is. So this means if your customer does something, we can trigger something else because they've done something, and that is the beauty of automation. That's why this is so exciting, and it also helps with the flow of building professional campaigns. Which is what we want you to get to. And over these next 21 days, we're going to build a habit of being good at campaign building and understanding the software in such a way that it's not going to be daunting. It's going to become second nature. And the whole point of these 21 days is we do these little bite-sized pieces, do them bit by bit. So you actually learn how to do this little one thing. And then when you look back from the end of 21 days, you're going to go, oh my God, I've done all this stuff. That's where it's going to be so good for you. So automations are based on levels of interest. They monitor behaviour and we can act accordingly. So for instance, there's a little example I've got here. When you send an email out to someone, they're going to do one of a few things. They'll either ignore it completely, so it'll just be sitting in their email inbox. They won't do anything with it, and we will get people who do that. They'll open it. So we're going to get some people who gets it in the inbox and they go, oh, that's interesting, I'll have a look at that, and they'll have a look at that, but they won't actually take any action. The next sort of person is the person who will take some action. So they'll open it and they'll click on a link. Now this could go through to your website, it could go through to an offer, it could go through to a video, it could go through to something, but they're going to click a link and take some sort of action. Or they could just unsubscribe if they're not interested. All of those things are absolutely fine. But because they've done those things, we can act on that behaviour. So if they get an email and they ignore that email, and we can see the people who haven't opened that email, we can then resend that email. Because some people, they might have just missed it. So we can resend it, but we can resend it with maybe a different email title. It could be, say, something slightly different. They might not have opened it because they weren't enamoured by the title, they didn't grab them. So you could put maybe a more compelling title on the video, and that might help them open it up. So we could resend it. If they open the email but don't actually go any further or don't click on the link, then we could maybe follow them up and say, we sent you an email the other day, it was about this, and we thought we'd sort of just tell you a little bit more about it, and click on this link. Now that does sometimes help people to click on a link and actually go to whatever offer or whatever page you're actually sending them to, so we can follow them up. If they do click on the link, then we know that they're interested in something. See, you see the levels of interest going up here. So instead of ignoring it, they're opening it. Instead of just opening it, they're clicking on a link. So they're actually interested in what you're doing and want to see what you've got to offer. So you can actually send them other things. Because they've clicked on a link, you can start doing automations, a little automated sequence, if they click on a link. Can you see how powerful that is? So this is all based on behaviour. You send an email out, they open it, if they click on a link, you can send them to a different automation sequence because of that event. That's what makes this so powerful. There's lots of things you can do, but that's just a flavour of why the automated or the automation process is really, really good to use in your business, because you can do things based on the behaviour of a prospect, and that's what makes it so powerful. So today what we're going to do, we're going to send people to a dedicated landing page, and I'm going to do all this in the next video, but we're going to send them to a dedicated landing page, or it could be a landing page that's on your site, but it's something that's dedicated, with a really cool giveaway, a solution video, or some sort of teaser software, or something that you want to give away to people, something that is going to bring them onto your database and become part of you. Now don't forget, this may be the first time they've ever seen you. They might see an advert or something like that, or they might see a social media post or something, and it might be the first time they've ever seen you. So this has got to be really good. This is where you start building your brand with people. If this is really good and it's a really good giveaway, they will engage with you, and that's the whole key thing of this. So we're going to build something here which is going to be what we call a primary conversion environment. So you can send people to this page, and it's the primary place where you're going to convert people. So that's why we call it a primary conversion environment. It's 100% dedicated to converting people from site visitors into targeted leads. And I say targeted because they're self-selecting themselves in because of the interest of the page. No one's going to put their name and their email on a page or onto a form for something which they're absolutely not interested in. So they're already interested, they're self-selecting themselves in, so they are targeted leads. The more people we can get as targeted leads, the more chance we are of making sales at the end of the day. So our goal is to get them to put their name and email into the form on the page, which we're going to create. So we're going to create the page, we're going to create the form, we're going to create the mechanism to make all this work, and we're going to send them through to a delivery page where we're actually going to deliver on our promise. And of course what that's going to do is going to put people straight into our database, our ActiveCampaign database, and which means that we're going to build a list of people or a number of contacts that are all interested in this one thing, and they've downloaded this, so they're interested in this. And of course that means that we can start putting them into an automated sequence, which is going to be later on down the line. We're going to do that over the next 21 days. We're going to start building these automations, and you're going to be able to do this. We're going to do this step by step with you. I'm going to take you by the hand and show you how to do this, so you get more confidence with the software, and you actually start using it to build your business and actually automate your business. Now you can see that there's a starting point that we've got here, right at the top here. It says contact subscribe to a list, business marketing revealed. Okay, so that's a product that we had, and they're subscribing to that list. but they can subscribe, or they can actually join that automation from lots of different ways. And this again is what makes this so much more powerful than autoresponders. We can start automations from almost any type of action or behavior, and that's why this is so key to understanding how this works. The one we're going to use probably the most of all is this tag is added. This is basically where we tag a certain behavior and then we can act upon that behavior. But there's lots and lots of different ways: subscribing, submit to a form, which is slightly different. It could be forwarding an email, it could be clicking on a link in an email, it could be all these different things. They've reached their goals. This is why this is so powerful. And this is really what when we talk about sales funnels. If you've been in sales and marketing at any time, you would have heard about this concept of sales funnels. And this is where we can actually build automated sales funnels. Again, massively powerful for your business. But I know that a lot of people who come to this are going to know what a sales funnel is, or think they know what a sales funnel is. There's going to be some of you that really just don't understand quite what the sales funnel is. So I'm going to want to go through a little bit about this. Because I've got a specific view of the way a sales funnel works, and my view is this: it's in sort of three parts. The first part is that a sales funnel is a marketing mechanism which entices interested prospects, people who are interested in what you're doing. It entices them into your business. They become aware of you, and they become aware of your expertise and your knowledge, the solutions that you provide, and also the services and the products that you do. People need to become aware of you. There's going to be lots and lots of people who could be good prospects or could be good customers who have no clue that you exist right now. So constructing a sales funnel with a top end of funnel, which is where we are right now, where we're going to give away something, we're going to do low cost products to get people to understand who we are. So that's why I say the sales funnel is a marketing mechanism to entice interested prospects into your business. The second part of this is where we nurture those people that we brought in. This is where we build relationships through content, through the information and the contact and the content that we have with those people. This is where we can start building a genuine reputation. They can start seeing that we have an authority in that field. We build up a lot of visibility, and we can start genuinely engaging with people. This is critical. Once we've got people into the top end of our funnel, we can start building these relationships and building this authority with them, and genuinely engaging with them. And this is where we nurture, what we call nurturing cycle, where we start nurturing our clients or our prospects, and really pushing them down the funnel, because we want them to start buying products from us. Now, we could start with very low-hanging fruit, low-cost products, things that are a little bit like no-brainer products, that are really genuinely going to help them in whatever it is that you're doing, helping them in their business or helping them in their lifestyle, helping with their bank balance, their freedom expectations, whatever it is. We can help them in the nurturing sequence once we're talking to them. So the first part of this is really critical, because if they don't know we exist, we can't talk to them. The second part is the nurturing process. The last part of this is what I believe is a sales funnel does, is it provides us with that platform for you to offer your products and services to a warm, receptive audience. If you've nurtured them well, they are interested because they're still there. They haven't unsubscribed. They're still there. They're still listening to your content. They may be watching your videos. They may be listening to podcasts. They might read your blogs. All those sort of things where you're building your reputation, building your authority, getting more visible and engaging with people. And this is where the receptive audience comes in. There are people who are interested, and now all we've got to do is work a way of converting those prospects into clients. And that's basically by putting or offering your products and services to those people, to those warm, receptive people. And to me, this is the structure of every sales funnel. This is what we all want to try and achieve. And we can do that easier using the automated process. Now, we can do it as an individual, but we can also use technology to help us do. And this is where ActiveCampaign comes in, where we can get a lot more people into the top end of the funnel. We can nurture them in a way that feels really good. We can make our company really, really responsive to our prospects because we have set it up in the right way. And this is why I want to set up or help you set up ActiveCampaign in your campaigns, your marketing in the right way, so you can start nurturing people in the right way, and so we'll get more leads, we'll get more sales at the end of the day. So, but this is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to do a sales funnel is a marketing mechanism to entice interested prospects into the business. So we're only going to focus on this. We're not going to worry about the rest of it today. We're going to focus on how can we start doing this. So we're going to create the sales funnel by using a landing page. And as I said, a lot of people are coming to this for the very first time. So what is a first contact? Just so you can get this, first contact can be from anywhere. It could be from something like a Facebook ad or a boosted post. It could be from a blog with a call to action at the end. It could be a video that you put up onto YouTube, again with a call to action. The call to action is to go to our landing page. So we're structuring this in such a way that you don't have a lot of different marketing things to do. You've got one thing to do. You've got to drive people to a landing page that is 100% dedicated to converting those site visitors into interested, targeted prospects. So this is the first contact on the right hand side. It could be video tutorials, it could be things like a speaking event. If you go to a speaking event and instead of just saying, oh, we've got a website and we've got this and we've got that, people go to websites and get lost because of the navigation. If you've got a page which is completely dedicated to conversion, then you can send them to that. Now that could be your website, or it could be a page and a site that you've created specifically to convert people onto your database. And that could be things like a single landing page, which you've got a few little pages behind it, but bottom line is it's one page. There is no navigation. It's just a giveaway at the top, a fantastic giveaway with a form which they put their details in, and it will send them through to a delivery page where you'll deliver on your promise. And just think about this. If you're at a speaking event and you say, go to this very simple URL or this very simple web address, and it's just one page and there's only one thing to do is to download the thing I'm saying I'm going to give you, what are your chances of actually getting a lot more people onto your database that are targeted? I think it's going to be massive. So you could be same sort of thing at a webinar, radio interviews. We've got clients where we send them to radio interviews, and we build something very, very specific at the back end. So because you've only got a very, very short amount of time, if a radio interview or a television interview or anything like that, you say a very simple URL and people go to it in their thousands, and you can build up a massive, massive list of people that are absolutely perfect for you. And it's using your events in the right way. So speaking events, webinars, radio interviews, television interviews, all those sort of things. If you use these the right way and use the right sort of backing, you can get a lot of people into the top end of your funnel. You could be just a simple tweet, it could be an article in LinkedIn, or it could be a Google post. You see where I'm going with this. Anything can drive traffic back to one place which is 100% dedicated to getting the lead, and that's the key to this. So anything where it goes, Facebook ads, blogs, videos, anything like that, you send them all to one page and you put those all into the top end of your funnel. Anybody who's interested in what you're doing goes into the top end of the funnel. So that then goes on to a database within ActiveCampaign, which means you can then engage with those people by emailing them at a later state and start to the engagement process. And these emails can then send them through to other content that's going to be really good for them, free content, low cost products, and finally going to a higher cost product and the business that you're actually in. So let's start building our first funnel. I'm going to do that in the next video. So go straight onto that today and we'll start building these funnels. Now you've got this fundamental understanding of where we're going with this, you can start building the funnel. We're going to build two pages and a form and start building your first funnel today.